wash your hands, arms, feet, and legs. Out your clothing.
Hi, girls.
Hi.
Asante Sana Warden, that does thank you. And as we like to say, Bidet, that means let's go. Hello everyone, my name is Anna and I will be your safari guide today. I have a couple of safety reminders for you. Keep all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times. And remain seated for the entire safari. That does mean that you cannot stand up even if you can't see an animal. We will begin our adventure through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve in the Little Ajibri Forest. This is where the animals use camouflage, such as dark colors or patterns like stripes, in order to hide from predators. On the hill to the left, that black and white bird is a saddle-billed stork. They get their hair clean. And Okapi's tongue so long that they are able to lick their own eyeball.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
There's another saddle-billed stork over here to the right. It looks like they're building a nest. We are heading to the Safi River where the animals are aquatic, so they spend most or all of their time in and around the water. Keep a lookout for any bubbles, ripples, or dark spots that could indicate an animal below the surface. The gray and white birds are pink-backed pelicans. They will develop a pink spot on their back during the mating season. They can nest in colonies of up to 500. Both the male and female take care of the nest, as their eggs take about 30 days to hatch. They nest in the same location year after year, so it's important for us to protect their habitat so that they have somewhere to return to. In
see
the river
hippos?
to the left is the Nile hippopotamus. They can be in groups of up to 100 that are called a float.
See all them
They
hippos?
spend most of their time in the water. They are able to
It's not
hold their breath
printing.
for multiple minutes at a time.
Their faces are so cute.
While they do know how to swim, it is easier for them to sink down to the bottom of the river and walk along it. So sometimes they are hard to spot. Hippos have large teeth that grow to 18 inches long. They will mostly use their teeth in self-defense, as they are extremely territorial, but they are herbivores, so they primarily eat grass.
Oh,
to the left
gator.
is the Nile crocodile.
Oh, crocodile.
Largest crocodile
Yep.
species in Africa, reaching 16 feet long and 500 pounds.
Crocodile.
The Nile crocodile has bite force that is so strong that they are able to break the bones of their prey. They can eat up to half of their body weight in one meal, so they usually only eat about once a week. But sometimes when food is scarce, they can go up to a month without eating. They are opportunistic carnivores, so they do not hunt. They will eat whatever crosses their path as soon as it crosses their path, because they never know when their next meal will be. We are leaving the Safi River and heading out to the savannah. We know that we are changing ecosystems because the trees and plants are changing and thinning out to account for the different weather patterns in the different areas. The savanna has a long dry season that will last about 9 months, so it is a very fragile ecosystem that has a lot of migrating animals. Sometimes those animals migrate behind trees where we can't see them, and sometimes they migrate to the middle of the road. To the right, the gray antelope are wildebeest. They get their name from the Afrikaans word that means wild beast.
Yeah.
They can be in herds of up to 1.5 million. If a herd has only males, then they will have no hierarchy and they will all be equals. So there is no
Did it work?
dominant male to tell them what to do.
That
Wildebeest participate in the Great Migration, where they migrate about 1,000 miles every single year in search of water. Other antelope and zebras join in on the Great Migration, but those animals do not migrate as far as the wildebeest.
Ooh, look at those. Get your camera ready, Abby.
To the left, these are Ankoli cattle. They are also known as the Watusi, named after the tribe that first domesticated them. They are a cross between an Egyptian longhorn and an Indian longhorn. Their horns can be 3 to 4 feet long each, and they have a honeycomb-like structure inside, which makes them lighter than they appear. Their horns have blood vessels that reach their very tip, and that will help the cattle to cool down during the hot summer. On the hill to the left, there are sable antelope. Both males and females have horns, and they will use them to protect themselves from predators that try to jump on their back, sometimes dropping down to their knees to get a better angle. The sable antelope herd can have up to 100 members during the dry season, and they will be led by a dominant male. However, a dominant female will determine all of their migration patterns. That responsibility will get
Oh, look
passed
at
down
him.
to her daughter.
Look at it, it's coming. That was cool.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, there's a whole bunch. Look at them all.
On the
I'll
hill
look right out
to
your
the
window.
left, there's also some on the hill to the right. These small tin and white antelope are springbok.
He's
They
like
get
right
their
there.
name because they are able to spring 6 feet up and 13 feet forward, and they are frightened in a jump called
Yay, it's printing.
They are one of the top 10 fastest land mammals, able to reach speeds of 55 miles per hour. At one point, the springbok was critically endangered, but today they are one of the most populated antelope. That gives us hope for reviving species that are on the brink of extinction.
Do you want to have Dad look at it? Have Dad work on it.
And now I have a timer on it.
Have Dad work on it.
To the left, there is the mandrill. They are the largest species of monkey. The adult male can weigh up to 100
You
pounds,
see any
while the
monkeys?
females weigh 30 to 40.
said to the
Pandas
left.
are omnivores, so they eat small birds and mammals and fruit and insects. And they're actually really great for the environment because they eat so much fruit that they
Oh my gosh, yeah.
seeds absolutely everywhere. And that helps.
She had like a painted face.
Mandrills have pockets inside of their cheeks so that they can store food, kind of like a hamster.
African ground squirrel.
Bumpy. Crossing the bridge.
Pretty much every animal on the savannah is in a herd, and the name Harambe means come together. So just as these animals come together every day in order to form their herds, we as humans also need to Harambe and come together in order to protect them and their natural habitats. Because the biggest threat that most animals face is habitat loss. As the human population increases, we take up more and more space. But we want to make sure we're leaving room for every single other creature on the planet. There are two different species of elephants, the African and
Do you see elephants?
the African is larger and distinguished by their bigger ears, which they flap to help cool down. They can also use their trunks to pick up dirt, mud, and hay and fling it onto their back. An elephant's trunk has more muscles than the entire human body. Elephants are typically in herds that consist of a female family and their offspring. The males go off on their own when they reach maturity at around 13 to 15 years, but sometimes they will form small bachelor herds. The female herd is led by the matriarch, who is the oldest and wisest female of the family. She is so smart that she is able to remember migration routes that the herd hasn't used in years. That is very helpful because elephants have suffered a lot of habitat loss due to the mining of coltan. If you don't know what that is, you probably have some in your pocket. Coltan is the mineral inside of all smartphones, tablets, laptops, and anything electronic. That mineral can pretty much last forever. So make sure that whenever your devices decide to stop working, you recycle them. That way we don't mine any more in the habitats of elephants.
Well, we're gonna drive through that water.
There you go, Tom.
Oh, flamingos!
Turn right, it's not gonna be a traffic.
Traffic in the safari.
To the left is a flamboyance of greater flamingos. They are the largest and most pale pink of all flamingo species. When they hatch, they are gray, and as they eat their diet of brine shrimp, they become pink. It can take up to 2 years for their color to fully develop. The reason that they do change color is because the brine shrimp that they're eating contains beta-carotene. Beta-carotene is the same stuff inside of carrots, where if I ate carrots for every meal of every day, I would turn orange. They eat shrimp, so they turn pink.
Look at
Now
them.
coming up to the white rhinoceros, they get their name not from their color, but from a mistranslation of the Afrikaans word white. White means wide because they have a wide, square upper lip. They can weigh up to 5,000 pounds, and they are social in groups of up to 12 that are called a crash. Unfortunately, rhinos have been poached for their horns, which are made out of keratin. That is the same stuff that makes up our hair and fingernails. Due to poaching, there are only 2 northern white rhinos left. They are a mother and daughter, which means that they are functionally extinct. So we have been studying the southern white rhino here on the reserve to learn more about the way that they reproduce so that the same thing doesn't happen to them. We have been very fortunate to have seen 3 southern white rhinos born here in the last 4 years. On the hill to the left, in that bottom left corner, is the cheetah. They are the fastest land mammal. They can go 0 to 60 in just 3 seconds. Running that fast takes up a lot of energy, so they will only do so for a couple hundred yards,
Cheetah.
using their long tails as a boat-like rudder to change direction while they sprint. They are the only big cat whose claws do not reach
Look
out,
at
so their
someone
claws
in the
are out
road.
all of the time. That helps them get a good grip on the ground while they run, kind of like how we wear cleats. That brown antelope to the left is the water buck. They get their name because they drink significantly more water than any other kind of antelope. Their shaggy coat will emit a smelly oil that helps to waterproof them so that they can stand in the middle of watering holes to
Did you see
protect
the
themselves from
lions?
predators who not like to get away.
Look at them up there.
To the left is a rock formation known as the Kopi. Predators like the lion use the Kopi
We're gonna get closer, Aubrey.
vantage point over the savannah so that it's easier
Look
for
at all
them
the
to find their prey.
Oh,
Lions spend most of their time sleeping. They sleep 16 to 20 hours a day. They hunt at night because their eyesight is 6 times better at night than it is during the day.
rhinos.
The lioness will initiate most of the hunts for the pride while the male stays back to protect the territory. They will hunt as a group because that enables them to take down prey that is bigger and faster than an individual lion is. The biggest threat to lions is habitat loss. It causes increased competition between prides for resources like food and territory. It also causes lion livestock conflicts as lions venture onto farms to find food. To decrease the amount of conflicts in Tanzania, they have made a living wall, which is a dense grouping of trees to keep lion populations away from human territory. To the left, there is the warthog. They are the largest burrowing
Oh my gosh, look at them.
but they are known to reuse the burrows other animals have made. They back up any burrows with their tusks facing out in order to fight off predators. Warthogs are crepuscular, which means that they are active around sunrise and sunset. But they are very intelligent and they will change their sleeping patterns depending on the predators in the area.
Do you see the rhinos, Abby's?
Yeah. I'm not gonna have anything else for characters. So
Yeah,
I
I
gotta stop taking pictures.
I think you should stop taking pictures of animals. Yeah. Did you bring extra film? No. We've seen a lot of animals.
We are now coming up to the warden's post, which does signify that we are leaving the reserve and heading back into the village. In the middle of the warden's yard, there is a large yellow box that is very important to the conservation of African elephants. Elephants had to change their migration patterns, and in doing so, they came across farmland and they ended up trampling crops, which angered the farmers. But we were doing research right here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, and we discovered that since elephants have such sensitive skin, they are afraid of bees. If one elephant sees a bee, they will signal that to the rest of the herd with a low rumble, and then they all run away. So we told the farmers, if you line your farm with those beehive fences, then the buzzing will scare off the elephants. That protected elephants from angry farmers, and it also protected crops from elephant bees. The farmers were then able to sell the honey that the beehives were making, so it was an all-around win for everyone involved.
We're gonna drive through that.
If there are any wilderness explorers on board, you have been riding on the Simba 1. Simba is the Swahili word for lion, and 1 is the number 1. To see some more African animals, check out the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail, which is to the right when you exit the dock. There you might be able to see the colobus monkey, lowland gorilla, meerkats, and naked mole rats. Over in Asia, behind Kali River Rapids, there is the Maharaja Jungle Trek, where you may be able to see the Komodo dragon, water buffalo, lion fox, and the Sumatran tiger.
What'd you guys think?
That was cool. It was cool.
Once again, my name is